guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions about different Cerave products in the comments, and many of you have asked that I talk about some of my favorite Cerave products and which ones are good and that sort of thing. So today I thought I would review all the Cerave products that I myself have personally used and love. Cerave, in my mind, really continues to shine as far as a skincare line that is relatively affordable in the drugstore. And their hallmark ingredient is ceramides, which, if you're new here, I've mentioned the role of ceramides before, but they're essentially the most abundant lipid in our skin, in the top layer of our skin. And they play a very, very, very important role in forming the skin barrier, which allows the skin to hold on to hydration and function properly. As we age, and in individuals with a tendency towards dry skin inherently, or individuals with eczema, for example, such as myself, ceramides can wane a little bit and become deficient. And so using a moisturizer or hydration-based skincare focused on ceramides really continues to prove in at least clinical experience to really be an ingredient worth continuing to recommend strongly. I know it's available here in the US, so I don't know how easily it is to get in other countries, but I am really a huge fan of this skincare line. So I thought I would just review all of the products that I have used on myself and continue to feel very comfortable recommending to people. And no, this video is not sponsored in any way. I use all of these products and continue to recommend them, and I wanted to make a specific video on them. Cerave doesn't even know I exist, and they have no clue I have a YouTube channel, and I sincerely doubt anybody from Cerave is watching or cares that I exist. But with that, let's give it a go. So Cerave, so one of my absolute favorites is the Cerave moisturizing cream. Okay, you see that? This is a great body cream. The way that I love to use this as somebody with a tendency towards dry skin on the body is to keep this on the edge of my shower tub. I'm not currently using it, but this is how I would use it. Keep it on the edge of my shower, and when I'm done bathing, to turn the water off and slather this onto wet skin so that the ceramides can restore the skin barrier that you've just kind of disrupted by water and any soap that you may have been using, and really start to seal the moisture in, and the ceramides really help enhance that protective function of the skin. This is fragrance-free, dye-free. It's very, very well tolerated. It's really just fantastic for everybody, I mean, people who have no interest in skincare, this is important for this product can really be helpful for this product, and this moisturizing cream can really be helpful for the health of your skin, okay? And cosmetic concerns aside, I really like it. And it's non-irritating, and people will be alarmed by the presence of petrolatum, dimethicone, and parabens. I've said this on here before, despite what the internet media claims, these are all safe and necessary ingredients that in a body moisturizer are not likely to cause harm to human health. And we continue to feel comfortable recommending this product, and it continues to be fantastic, and I really, really like it. So that is product number one. Moving along to cleansers, you all know that I use the Neutrogena salicylic acid face wash for removing some sun-damaged skin cells, as well as additional acne control in addition to my Differin. I use it to wash my face in the morning, just with my finger pads as a gentle wash. And many people, however, find that product irritating and drying. It has fragrance in it, and it just doesn't work for many people. So I'm always a little recalcitrant to just go generally recommending it, but I love it. It works for me, and it's a good salicylic acid face wash. One that I have used and think is far better tolerated, however, is the Cerave has a salicylic acid face wash as well. The shortcoming of this product, I'll just say up front, is that I have no clue what the percentage of salicylic acid is in this, whereas in the Neutrogena one it's 2%. So there's that caveat to it. But this does have ceramides in it, and it's fragrance-free, oil-free. It has a foaming property to it, and I think if you're somebody pursuing BHA, which is salicylic acid, guys, for anti-aging properties, which doesn't exist, and really if you're just seeking to remove sun-damaged skin cells related to sun damage and the tincture of time, this is a fantastic product, I think, for you in that regard. It's got the blend of ceramides, it's hydrating like it says, it's non-drying, and I found that I like using this in the mornings in lieu of the Neutrogena salicylic acid face wash that I typically use in my AM skincare routine. So this I find works in lieu of that just as well. And then as far as face washes as well, if you're not interested in salicylic acid, it irritates you or bothers you, and you're just looking for a gentle skin cleanser that is non-irritating, fragrance-free, they also have, and this is just a sample of it, but I've used it myself, they also have this foaming facial cleanser. It says for normal to oily skin, and this one is also fantastic. It lacks the salicylic acid, so if that bothers you, you don't have to worry about that. It lacks fragrance, so if you're irritated by fragrance, that won't be problematic. This is also generally well tolerated and includes their ceramide. Here, I'll just hold it up here. And includes their ceramide milieu, as well as hyaluronic acid and niacinamide, which in a wash form, I don't know how good that is. I've talked about niacinamide on here before in my rosacea Q&A. I've talked about it in, I think, even my melasma Q&A, as well as my recent Korean and as well as my recent Asian skincare Q&A, and some of the products that in a lot of the popular Asian skincare lines have niacinamide in it. Niacinamide has been shown to be helpful in combating the redness of rosacea, as well as in imparting sort of a brightening effect to the skin. So it's a useful ingredient. It's also very helpful as just kind of a mild anti-inflammatory, and people tend to not be irritated by the presence of this in topical skincare. So I like this, and this also removes my, disclaimer, as you all probably are becoming keenly aware, I don't wear much in the way of makeup, but I do wear a lot of sunscreen, and I do wear mascara, and I have successfully removed thick layers of zinc on my face, as well as both regular and waterproof Maybelline Colossal Mascara with no issue with this, and no need to go harshly scrubbing. So this is a good one in that regard, and I really like it. I think everybody wouldn't be short to find that to be a problem. Okay, so moving along, I covered the Cerave moisturizing cream. It's just a great one for pretty much every body concern. But if you're somebody who, in the winter time, for example, describes your skin when it gets dry, I'm not talking about facial skin here. I'm talking about like your arms, your legs, your trunk, body skin. If you describe it as ashy, or you suffer from keratosis pilaris, that rough, scaly, bumpy stuff around the little openings on your upper arms or your thighs, one key tenet to that, to managing that, as I addressed in my keratosis pilaris video, my tips for KP, is using both moisturizers, ideally that contain ceramides, as well as using a little bit of acid in a cream form to kind of break up some of that rough and bumpy stuff. And Cerave has really keenly developed two products that work quite nicely. I personally do have bouts of keratosis pilaris exacerbations, and I found that both of these products are really wonderful. It's the one is a little bit thicker than the other. So the Cerave Renewing Cream, this is going to be really, this goes on really thick and greasy. So if you are also somebody who's prone to breakouts and acne, you may want to use the lotion one instead. It's a little bit more watery, but still has the great ingredients in there. They both go on very well. They have both salicylic acid, just like the face wash, which can, you know, help slough off skin lightly, and they also have ammonium lactate. So it's a little bit more, so this is a stronger kind of body acid. I would not put this on the face. I would not, okay? Ammonium lactate, I would not put that on my face, and I think that's one shortcoming of the labeling, and it's not really their fault. It says non-comedogenic, and I think people sometimes interpreted that as, oh, this is for the face, and really what they mean is, well, in whatever their studies are on comedogenic assays, which is still not clear to anybody, then you know, it doesn't seem like if you're somebody who's prone to acne breakouts on the body, these should be okay, but again, that's hard to say for sure. That's generally hard to say for sure. People break out and have irritable skin and get irritated by certain ingredients, but these I think are worth giving a shot if you're one of those KP sufferers or somebody who just gets frankly ashy. These can be very helpful. The Cerave Renewing SA lotion is the more watery one, and the Cerave SA cream is thicker and greasier. The cream is like in the consistency of what's in this jar, whereas the lotion is a little bit more watery. So I love both of those. And so there's that as far as kind of rough and bumpy skin. And then the other product, now you all have heard me say on here that I don't use soap in the shower. I don't really bathe with soap. I use that benzoyl peroxide containing wash to cut down on breakouts on my back, upper chest sometimes, buttocks area, and that's very harsh and irritating, to be honest. I tolerate it, and it helps control acne in those areas for me, so I continue to use it, but it's not going to work for everybody. And so how do you cleanse in those areas if your body habitus and, you know, your needs still necessitate soap, but you want something that's not going to disrupt the skin barrier too much and cause dryness and irritation. And so Cerave has this hydrating cleanser bar, okay, which I've used a few times, which I've tried several times, and I thought it was okay. It did not dry out my skin in any manner. It was gentle, and I didn't have any problems with it. I have said on here before, like in my tips for pores video, that bar soaps can contain ingredients that clog pores. That didn't occur for me in using this. I thought it was fine. But that's not to say that it might not occur to you, but I thought this was I think this is a good bar soap if you're inclined to use bar soap, but I don't generally recommend bar soaps to people because of that shortcoming of they can sometimes clog pores by virtue of some of the ingredients that are added to make them bar form. But this one's got the ceramides in it. It's got, you know, hyaluronic acid. It's very hydrating and gentle. And then another one that you guys know I use every night. This is not for the face, but rather I use it on my lips, and it is just fantastic. This is a Cerave Healing Ointment. This is like ultra thick Vaseline petrolatum, which I've said on here before. We have absolutely no evidence that this is harmful that petrolatum or mineral oil are harmful to human health or anything like that. They make fantastic occlusive moisturizers in ointment form. This is an ointment, so it will clog your pores if you put it on pore-bearing surfaces of the skin, but it's great on the lips, okay? It's got the ceramides in it. Again, this is great. I put it on my lips. It's also fantastic on, you know, when you get those kind of rough callousy areas on your fingers or the bottoms of your feet. Great in that regard. So I really like this a lot. And they also have, I think maybe they're watching my videos, I hope. I don't think they are, but somebody over there has figured out that this actually really sails through as a lip balm, like I'm using it. And they put it in a tinier tube because skincare companies and cosmetic companies, they love to take the same product and put it in different sizes and shaped tubes and sell it to you. But I love it in that regard, and use it on my lips. Sun protection wise, you all know that this sunscreen I really happen to enjoy for myself is the Cerave SPF 50 sunscreen with invisible zinc, and I like this for myself. It does go on very thick and white. If you are a darker skin type, I'm almost certain you're going to hate this. You know, even the fairest of them all generally is like, that's just too white for me. I find I'm able to mask most of the whiteness with my Elta MD, and then I just kind of embrace the film with when I'm wearing it. This has ceramides and niacinamide in it. It is great. It gets terrible reviews on Consumer Reports, I imagine because it makes a thick film. But as a sunscreen, we're talking skin cancer prevention, burn protection, protection against the deeper wavelengths of light that can penetrate the skin and age the skin. If you're confused, like what is she talking about, check out my sunscreen Q&As. I explain a little bit more about the ingredients in sunscreen. It's great. And again, like I said in that video, don't preoccupy yourself with the percentage of zinc or titanium dioxide. It's the SPF 30 to 50 that matters. You just need to see that to know that you're going to get protection from those. And this is exclusively physical sunscreen. So for people who are irritated by chemical sunscreens or don't care to use them, this is one to consider giving a try. Okay? I like it. I use it, love it. There are other sunscreen that I find people love far better because it blends much more readily, particularly, you know, and that's an obvious concern. And people don't want to walk around looking like, you know, who's that, mime? Nobody, I mean, mimes are creepy, so nobody wants to look like a mime, okay? Understandably so. So they've come out with what I tell you all is a combination sunscreen. It's got, and if you're like confused or new here, combination sunscreens, I explain that also in my sunscreen Q&A. So definitely check those out if you want to learn about sunscreens. But this one is, like I said, is a combination sunscreen. It has a zinc oxide in it, which blocks against both UVB and UVA quite well. It does not contain avobenzone in it, which if you're avoiding that because of its lack of stability or just you're irritated by it, it doesn't contain that. And it's got the chemical filters homosalate, miratamate, octinoxate, and octocrylene. And I am not irritated by this at all. I find I can put this around my eyes. This should not break you out or clog pores, but again, I can never, ever, ever predict that in any manner. You kind of just have to try these things out, and if you find that to be the case for you, make sure you've kept your receipt and take the product back. That's as best I can advise in that manner. But this is one that I generally feel comfortable recommending to a general audience. It blends really well. It goes over you know, it blends really well. It goes into the skin quite readily, and I really like it. So I recommend this one. It's also got the ceramides and the niacinamide in it, and the hyaluronic acid, which is a great humectant, keeping water in the skin. So I think, you know, people are a lot happier with this one, and it's a great sunscreen. So I don't know what Consumer Reports says about him, though. All right, and then it's sort of in the same shape and flavor of this, only with the paucity of sunscreen, because we don't need sunscreen when we're in the dark at night while we're sleeping and restoring our skin barrier. All we need is a little sealing of the moisture in so our skin can regroup and recharge, okay, from the day. And this is one that I really love. I usually keep this in my travel bag, but I love it. It is the Cerave PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. I love this. Applied to, this goes over both Hydra Boost as well as Hada Labo quite nicely, and sealing moisture in to the skin at nighttime after cleansing. This is great alone. If you're in the dark all day and you just are battling dry skin, it's fantastic. The other way this is nice is, you know, like when you're about to go out at night and you, I don't know, you know, want to kind of brighten up a little bit, just plop this on. I mean, and this is great in that manner. It really brightens the skin, does form a protective barrier. Again, like all of their fantastic products, no fragrance, no common allergens whatsoever. So, you know, these are all products that I have used myself, love, and feel confident recommending to a general audience. But again, there are caveats. There are people who have certain sensitivities in ways that I cannot predict or in any manner. So always keep your receipt when you buy these things. They are available here in the US in the drugstore. And I think they're great. I think they're better, like, as far as like what you would be concerned about in an anti-aging skincare regimen, I think Cerave's got your back. I mean, you don't need these fancy high-end cosmeceutical nonsense. None of the stuff that they claim to have in them doesn't even like work. But Cerave continues with their ceramide blend, whatever it is, whatever the magic in Cerave is. I can tell you for sure, Cerave is one that we actually do recommend, okay? Many drugstore and cosmetic companies will claim this dermatologist recommended. Cerave is one we actually do love and recommend and use on ourselves, okay? So that's why I wanted to make this video, because you guys are asking me about a lot of the different products. I don't use all of the products every day right now because I'm, you know, as you all are aware, I'm testing out different ones, but these are ones that, you know, if you, I feel comfortable recommending to a general audience, and you will see benefit in the health of your skin using these generally. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, kind of a outside of the drugstore review, you know, of some of my favorites and why. Like, these are ones that I buy, and I buy for other people as gifts, and they're like, why is she giving me this? I really love them, and I hope, you know, if you want to try them out, I hope that they work out well for you, and please leave feedback about if you have tried them and which ones you liked and didn't like. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.